My name, Alphonse. I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, April 30th, 1930. My mother had 5 boys and 5 girls. I lived with my grandparents. They raised me. They were churchgoers, but they wasn't young enough, to teach me how to dance. There was a minister used to come by the house and read the Bible to all of us. My grandfather was Catholic and my grandmother was Baptist, and so I would go with her to the Baptist church. Moved to Los Angeles from New Orleans. I was drafted 2 years in the Army. The Korean conflict was, but I didn't go overseas. I was in Oklahoma, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. I was a company clerk, 4 divisions. I was in the headquarters division, and I maintained the records for one of the batteries. Whenever they went to training and stuff like that, I would record it. I even went through the infiltration course. They said, be careful because they're going to shoot over your head. So I did the crawling. Belt buckle came up loose. I was afraid my pants would fall down. And then they had things blowing up here and there. Wasn't real, I guess. I got married after I was in the service. She was a beautiful thing and I loved her so much. We were together for a total of 67 years. The first 2 years we courted, and the remaining 35 years we were married. And we had a total of 5 children, 2 boys and 3 girls. The oldest girl was Gwendolyn, Rosalind, then Derek, Peggy, and the last one was Brian. I was so proud of the fact that I had 5 children. I was young and I was away from my wife, so I kind of said I hated the military because I could have spent that time with her. And I was away from her at least a year. She used to send me homemade candy and things like that, and I used to get rides home. And Fats Domino was playing that song, Going Home Tomorrow, when I was riding with this guy, and he charged something like $3, dropped me off in New Orleans, and he went wherever he was going. And then on the way coming back, he would pick me up. I went on a couple of passes. I did certain things. My company commander said I would get a pass, and I would boogity back home. I would take the Trailway bus. I sort of enjoyed the Army, the food and things like that. I worked the florist and a cabinet factory before the Army, and when I got discharged, I worked the florist part-time because I wasn't getting enough money and I was married, or we had a child. I worked in the post office. You see, I was working at the florist. The post office called my wife and told her to tell me to report to headquarters. I left on the clock because I had taken the test prior to that. I passed the test and we want to hire you, and when do you want to start? I said, right now. They said, aren't you going to give your boss a notice? I wasn't favorable to get a raise after I got my first child, and so he's not deserving of getting a note. Now the post office wasn't hiring, so I used to go and sit out on the bench and wait for them to call. Christmas Day, they hired me. I worked in the post office for 30 and a half years. Well, I got promoted 3 times, so that was good. I was a distribution clerk, then I was a foreman, then I became a station manager. Supervisor told me, say, I'm going to transfer you to an easier job. So I went working headquarters and I retired from there, which was like 5 years or so. And they gave me a wonderful party. They rented a hotel for my wife and I, and we went on many cruises. We went to Hawaii, where we flew, Mexico, Cancun. It was a wonderful life, spending with my wife and my children. I miss her so very much, but I tried to avoid crying. But she did die of breast cancer. She was 85 years and 12 days. The mystery of it all was she knew she was going to die. She was in the bedroom and she sent my daughter-in-law to come and call me to tell me she was ready. And I didn't know what she meant by that. My son, when she took her last breath, he said, well, Dad, you know this was going to happen. I didn't want her to die. I know she was suffering and I miss her so much. I have pictures all in my bedroom of her. And I take them down, then I put them back up, said, I don't want to hide you. I want to put you where I can see you. And for anyone who went to my bedroom, they can see you also. She was beautiful. August the 26th, 2018, when she took her last breath. I watch television, I read the Bible, I watch the news, Netflix, and that was a program I liked, The Notebook. Oh, I moved here after my wife had passed away. It was a 2-bedroom house and it was too much for me to maintain. My daughter and they came on a tour. Now my son wanted me to move here before my wife had passed away, and I told him I don't want to rent, I want to buy. So we bought this house, and that's where my wife passed away. Well, quite natural, after she passed away, I was still driving, and I went to take the driving test and I didn't pass it. So they say you can come back and take it again. I said forget it. So I gave that car to my granddaughter. Ooh-wee. I have 1 million of them. No, I have about 35. That's grand, great-grand, and great-great-grand. I only have 2 grandchildren in Long Beach, 2 grandchildren in Moreno Valley, and 1 great-grandson in Moreno Valley. My daughter, she lives in Georgia, and she has 3 boys. One of the boys have 3 children. The other boy has 2, and the last boy just had 1. Oh, I like it very much. The reason why is because after my wife went to heaven, I was left alone and I couldn't maintain that house and the 3 utilities and television and all that stuff, which I think if I would have figured it up, it would have amounted to the cost being here. But for the services I get here, I think it's worth the price that I'm paying. I don't have to pay for television, telephone, water, and I don't have to pay for electricity. Well, the staff is very kind and cooperative. I can get information from them.